Well, hello there and welcome to this video. I'm Marugitto and today I will share with you a rundown on how I made my Kimetsu café style Giyuu from Demon Slayers. I made this costume right in time for Valentine's Day last year. In 2020, Kimetsu Café was a Demon Slayer themed collaboration with the cafe chain Sweet Paradise. The themed outfits for the characters were just so cute, I could not resist making one. Also, it was a good opportunity for a photo shoot to plan with my friend Charlie. Let's get to it! I did not want to buy anything new for this project, so all the fabrics are from my fabric stash, and I decided to buy the shirts, pants and shoes at the thrift store. This video will mainly focus on making the apron. I could have ordered custom-made printed fabric, but 1, it's expensive, and 2, I really wanted to make this. I decided to make a patchwork quilted apron. I have done a couple of quilts previously, so I really enjoyed being able to bring my quilting crafting into my cosplay crafting as well. Patchwork may look intimidating at first, seeing the pattern, but with the right tools and a bit of patience, it's actually a really fun, straightforward process. I really liked the color on this green fabric, but it's way too flimsy to work with, so I added some fusible iron-on interfacing on the back. Alright, it's time to do some cutting. If you haven't done so already, I recommend investing in a quilting ruler. I use it not only for patchwork projects, but also for cutting out fabric strips for cosplay, leather, and even measuring out warbler foam. My ruler is 15 by 60 centimeters. It also has markings for diagonal lines. Today, we will be using the 60 degrees angle. I will also be using my big cutting mat. To save some time, I decided to make the pattern a bit larger than in the reference picture. I start with evening out one side of the fabric and then cut along 10 cm strips from the different fabrics. For cutting, I use a rolling blade, but please be careful when using it so you don't hurt yourself. Always cut away from your body. My blade is getting a bit dull, so sometimes I have to go over it several times. As I'm right-handed, it makes sense for me to turn the fabric here. Look how easy it is to get an even-spaced cut when using this ruler. And then we keep cutting, making long 10 cm strips. I also make a 5 cm mark on a darker orange color and cut 6 cm wide strips. Ta-da! Such pretty colors! Next, it's time for our 60 degrees cuts. A 10 cm wide strip will need to be 11.5 cm long for it to be a proper 60 degrees cut parallelogram. Alright, time for more cutting. Now I can see my cutting is out of frame, but I didn't realize this at the time. What I'm doing is I'm lining the 60 degrees mark up with the bottom edge and cutting at an angle, making diamonds for the patchwork. See, it matches up perfectly. And there we have it, all our pieces. Time to put it all together. So satisfying. After pressing one side, I also cut the orange strips in a 60 degrees angle. I top stitch the orange squares. Instead of using pins here, I use a temporary spray glue used for quilting. It's very versatile and useful. I use it for many things that are hard to pin. For example, pleather. There. That will hold it in place. Next is top stitching. Isn't this just a great shot on the top of my sewing machine? I'm sorry. Anyways, I sew all the way around to keep it in place. Neat, huh? I decided to simply draw the dark lines with a fabric marker, because this was quick. Here comes the ruler in handy once again. Instead of drawing, you can use a satin stitch or maybe stitch down a black ribbon. Here, I've laid out all the pieces on the floor. The complement color is a mauve cotton fabric. It's leftovers from a balalaika cosplay from 2009, I think. I measured around the widest point of my hips and added some extras so it would overlap. I also measured the length down from my waist to my knee. Alright, now comes the tricky part, sewing all the boxes together. Start with the center seam. If If you have been making neat cuts, you won't need to pin anything. Just hold the pieces together and they will line up neatly. I use a 1 cm seam allowance. Next is the top sides. So one at a time, but not fully to the center, then twist and sew the next side. Once you have pressed the block seams, it looks like this. All the blocks together. Next, it's time to sew them all together. Ta-da! On the back here you can see all the pressed seams. Please don't be lazy, please press those seams. It will make such a big difference, just trust me. I cut off the excess and sewed this together with the mauve fabric. After pressing, I also did a top stitch. I added some lining on the inside to hide the back of the patchwork. I used my serger for this. I added some straps for tying the apron around my waist, and here it's done! As mentioned previously, I thrifted the shirt, shoes and pants, but I did make my own matching tie. For the faux box tie, I don't have any video, so I'll just tell you how I made it. It's a rectangle with another rectangle over it. There's plenty of YouTube tutorials on how to make these. I'll link some in the description below. I won't get into detail on how I styled the wig, simply because I don't have any footage of it, but I went through a lot of teasing, hairspray and heat to make it look nice. My friend Charlie, my husband and I went to a local cafe very early in the morning where we had permission to take some photos, and they turned out amazing. Please be sure to check out Charlie, he's an amazing photographer and friend. I will link all his socials below. So yeah, this is how I made my Kimetsu Cafe Giyuu. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you even learned something. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions and I'll do my best to answer them. I hope you have a good day and I'll see you next time. Hey hey!